In today's episode, we are going to look at what are mutual funds buying in the last 1 month. Now, a couple of good news and bad news before we start this entire episode. The good news is that the SIP data has come out for March and it looks very good. There has not been a massive decline in SIP, which also shows that India is not in a very bad position. We are still investing into the market, and that is why the DIIs are getting a lot of support in our current market. Number one. Looking at the bad news, if you ask me, if you look at the US market, it is very choppy. For example, President Trump is just moving the markets left, right, center. So it is very, very, very volatile with the whole China versus US fight and all of that. Yes, India will take a benefit over here, but things are not going to be as smooth as it was before, because China and US both need each other, but they're both acting like toxic ex-girlfriends. So there's going to be a lot of problem over there, and a lot of other people are becoming collateral damage who are the friends of each other, right? So that is what is happening in the entire market, but we don't care about it. We are now going to look at how mutual funds are thinking about this, because remember, mutual funds had a lot of cash corpus sitting in their bank account during the whole fall from September to now, right? And whenever the market fell drastically and we saw some terrible levels coming in Nifty, we saw that the mutual fund DIIs were actually buying a lot in our economy, whereas if you look at the FIIs, they were selling a lot in our economy. Now if you look at our let's say you look at our Nifty today, right? Let's look at this. Let me just remove all my drawings. Give me a sec. Yeah, if you look at Nifty, you will see that we had gone down to a low of 21,800, and that is when the DII buying came in quite drastically, because this was also our historical support line. And at this point, the DII is bought heavily, and then it kept buying, kept buying, kept buying, and now we're coming back to its original form over here. But overall, if you look at it, we are still in a downturn, right? Before we did break the trend line, this was the trend line over here. We did break it, but then we came back into it. So even if you look at it from a weekly perspective, it looks somewhat like this, right? So we are still not out of the dark, because the market is so volatile, but I think we should be in a good position right now because we are in a very undervalued position. But if you think about it, the whole market will not go up. It is going to be a sectoral based market going up. Why? Because there are some sectors that have got affected by the market, and there are some sectors that have not got affected by the market, right? So I have given a detailed description of who's affected actually in my entire community. So for all the people who actually wants to understand what is going on, I have actually, I'll just show you this. So I've given out who's affected and who's not affected and how it works, so you can come and check it out as well. Now coming to the mutual funds, let's look at the mutual funds one by one. Now the first mutual fund we will look at is Quant small cap fund. And what has Quant small cap fund done in this market, we will look at that as well, right? Now, couple of things. If you look at Quant small cap, recently they announced that they are now focusing on high beta stocks. That means they want to, take volatile companies that will rebound very fast, and that is what they wanted to increase, right? So if you look at the new additions that they have done, they have invested in a company called Anand Rathi, right, which recently came out with the results, and the results have been very, very good. So Anand Rathi is not a, bad company, but it is not exactly wealth management. Anand Rathi is very similar to a company called Prudent, not wealth management, whereas 361 Nuama are all in the different category. And this company, if you look at it, for some reason screener is not working for me, so I'm going to use Grow for this. So if you look at this, if I look at the last 1 year chart, Anand Rathi has not moved at all and is actually down 8%. But I'll show you the advantage here, advantage disadvantage, right? The advantage is it has not moved in the last 1 year, but in the last 3 years obviously it has given a massive rally. So it is in a huge multi-year consolidation right now, like a 1 year consolidation is going on in this company. And if you look at the P ratio of this company is currently at 51, which is, yes, slightly higher than normal. Ideally, these companies don't command such a high premium. But the only good thing about this company is if you look at the industry P, it is 18. So it is, as I said, it is quite higher. But this company has been giving very good profits year after year, right? So if you look at the yearly trend of the profits, it has been growing. Revenue has gone up, profits have gone up, net worth have gone up. This is a very slow compounder, a free cash flow compounder. They've also announced a dividend of 7 rupees per share is what I have heard right now. So they are doing really well. And if you look at the recent result that came out in March 25, quarter on quarter basis, you will see that the jump is quite good, right? Very good jump in the quarter of quarter basis as well. So this is a very long term compounding player. It is not a short term player. So they have increased a massive amount of stake here, and they've taken a good amount of position into this. They've also invested in few more new companies. One is Welspun, Castrol, Shipping, Bandhan, and Stanley. Now, five new companies they have taken in this month, and I have given the reason why as well. Welspun, because of the demand revival in oil and gas pipelines and order wins, and Welspun is winning a lot of orders in USA. Okay, so that is something that a lot of people have started buying Welspun. Castrol, also steady cash flow, strong band revival in the auto sector. Now, if you look at the auto sector, it is going to be very volatile for the companies that are creating the cars, but not for the auto ancillaries that are supporting the cars. Because if you see the recent news that has come out in the market, there are talks that yes, the duties are going to come down to 10%, including EU cars. That means your Mercedes, Audi, everything is going to get cheaper from 100% to 10%. That means your existing players in the market, which is Tata Motors, Mahindra, will surely get slightly affected in this front, right? But auto ancillaries will do well. Shipping corporation, because shipbuilding, there's a massive push right now. That is why you see Mazgao Dock also doing quite significantly well actually in the market. And there is a lot of relative strength coming out in Mazgao Dock as well. As you can see this, it's weirdly creating a very small type of VCP, but not exactly a VCP, but it's okay. The charts are looking good here, and Mazgao Dock is holding. Stanley, Bandhan Bank is again, it's very close to its book value, so it's undervalued, and the NPA is also high, and corporate issues are there in the past. So really don't know why they have invested in this. Stanley, they have invested in this because yes, it is a luxury furniture space, and they are more of a B2B company than a B2C company. That B2C part is not doing really well, but the B2B part is doing really well, and they basically are the biggest suppliers to a lot of companies in US. Right? What have they increased apart from that? NCC. Now, NCC, a lot of people are starting to increase. Right? Why have a lot of people started increasing in NCC? Because NCC has constantly fallen down. NCC is a company that is in the construction space. I think it's called Nagarjuna Construction Company. And if you look at the last 1 year graph, you will see it fall quite drastically. Right? Look at this fall. Wow, 42% fall has happened. And this was a company that every brokerage house, I remember Axis, we did a podcast on HDFC. Even they had mentioned that NCC is a very good company and it can go up. And why people are buying right now? Because the risk reward ratio is superb in NCC. They have an order book of almost, look at this, they have an order book of almost 50,000 crores, if I'm not wrong, and 52,000 crores order book, if I'm not wrong. And if you look at the P ratio, they're currently sitting at 16 price to earnings ratio. So they're significantly undervalued. Even with the debt to equity ratio, they're completely fine. So now this is all a game on the execution, and if they start executing, the upper movement will be higher than the lower movement. So that is basically what this looks like. That is why you see that Quant Infrastructure Fund has also taken a position, Quant Value Fund has also taken a position, and Quant Small Cap Fund has also taken a position. So Quant is significantly invested in this company, right? So again, we will have to see what happens. They have taken a small advancement in positions in Alivis, which is Glenmark's API CDMO, but they're not very high on pharma, as you can see, right? Other companies are fine. What have they exited? They have exited State Bank of India and Reliance Industries, slight decrease, but State Bank of India, they've completely exited. So very interesting. And if I have to go more deeper and do a proper thorough understanding of how this looks like, this is how Quant's returns look like. Okay, in the last 1 year, they have underperformed equity small cap, right? They have underperformed equity small cap, which is not a great sign. Yes, obviously in the 5 year time frame, they have done significantly well, but in the last 1 year perspective, they have not done extremely well. As you can see, the blue line is Quant, but in the last 1 year, they have taken a dip from June. Coming down, the fund is obviously very high risk. I think most funds are very high risk. 90% is in equity, 1.29% is debt, and 7% is currently in cash. So that means they're pretty heavily deployed, mostly on the mid cap and the small cap space. So if you look at it, 70% is almost mid and small cap. So risk exposure is high, but also rebound exposure will be very high. So if the market starts going up, they will start doing really well. Yeah, this is something I like to see. Giant is 17, mid small cap is here. Average market cap of the company is 30,000 crores. Top 10 stocks take 30. This is pretty significantly diversified. Portfolio P is 22, which is actually quite shocking, which is very good actually. Even though they have 89 stocks, the portfolio is well managed at a 22 P ratio, and most of their significant investments are in very defensible spaces, which I'm enjoying, right? Healthcare, financial, consumer, discretionary, energy are all sectors that don't get too significantly affected by the tariff war, right? So this looks very nice. So let us go back to the next fund, which is a fund that plays very aggressive, which is called Motilal Oswal Fund. Okay, so now look at Motilal Oswal. They have taken now this is again has been controversial in the past because of their picks in high PE companies. They are playing momentum in, and they backfired because when the entire market fell down, a lot of high PE companies took a massive beating, right? So they have taken a new position in Hitachi Energy, sitting at 161 PE, benefiting from rising power infra. As you see, my team and me sit and make this entire sheet where we share it with the community members. Only for the people who are in the community, you will get this sheet so you can go through it. beautiful because it gives you everything under one roof, right? Look at Polycap, they've taken a increase. They've increased Trent as well. Okay, interesting. Even though there is a slowdown in Trent's performance and the P is significantly higher, they've taken more position in Trent. They've increased Prestige. Prestige is fine because I know for a fact that Prestige is doing well in the real estate space, and they've now also started foraying into hotels. So that is very shocking because they're coming out with an IPO for hotel business. So that is going to be interesting to see. Kalyan Jewelers, yes, this I think was a good pick by them because this was already there in their portfolio. Now it has started going up, but again seems overvalued. There are picks that are slightly undervalued as well. Increase their position in KPIT, increase their position in Persistent. Now, this is a very weird thing, right? So, do you know that they have increased their position in Coforge, and currently Coforge is literally 10% of their entire portfolio. 10% of the portfolio is just Coforge. Um, Again, this is a high PE company. It's not a low PE company. Persistent also is a high PE company. Bharti Hexacom also was is a good company, but now I think there's some change that has happened with the recent news. They have reduced their stake in 197, Supreme, Balkrishna, Voltage, Dixon, Indraprastha, and Oracle. They have completely taken an exit because of the declining growth in banking software vertical. So they're fully exited in this. Let's do a deeper analysis. Let's go to value research. Let's check this out here. So last 1 year performance, yes, they are higher, mainly because they were higher in the past compared to Quant. So they are higher above the equity mid cap benchmark as well. If you go down and see their high risk, which is fine, majority of their cash is in 13% cash, which is more than your Quant small cap, 18% debt, and only 68% in equity. So it is well balanced as of today. Most of it is in mid and large and giant. There is no very less, there's actually no small at all, which is again a good sign because they are focusing on a large, they're focusing on mid and large. Usually even mid cap funds have slight amount of small cap companies, but I think they have taken a call of not to do that. So that is okay. Let's look at the portfolio analysis. If you look at the portfolio analysis, average market cap is 67,000, which is pretty much in your mid cap range. The only problem I have with this is 56%, 56 P ratio. So they're still playing at a very high P ratio, even for the mid cap index, because even the mid cap index is not at this P ratio, and they're playing at a very high P ratio game, which is very momentum based. And another problem I have with this is technology, because approximately 27% of their stocks are in the technology space, right? Which is something that I'm not very comfortable with, because right now it is going to be very volatile. If US does bad, I think this will get affected. So that is what very interesting. Okay, fine. Coming to fund number three, which is the fund favorite of all the companies as of today, which is Parag Parikh mutual fund, right? Parag Parikh, if you know, is a very defensible fund, very safe fund. So each of these funds have a different opinion, right? Quant small cap is doing a turnaround. Motilal Midcap is actually doing high P momentum, and Parag Parikh is playing extreme safe play, right? So if you look at this, they have increased their stake in Zydus, they have increased EID Parry, they have increased their stake in Mahindra. Small stakes, you can see the increase is not heavy. Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, very, very, very small stakes, as you can see, right? And they've been very heavy on financials, which is good. And they've also taken Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Holdings, ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank. And what have they exited? They've exited Motilal Oswal AMC, they've exited Coal India and Power Grid. So as you see, they're pretty safe players. Let's go deeper into them and understand. Yes, this is Parag Parikh direct plan. Okay, wonderful. Let's look at the 1 year return. So 1 year return, they're significantly higher than the flexi cap index. So no problem at all. They're still winning. Majority is giant cap, not large cap. Giant, large, mid, and very small amount of small cap. If you want to see the portfolio breakdown, we can see it here. 18p, which is significantly lower than the other companies, but also that's because they're significantly in the large cap space. And if you look at the giant and large cap, they have been correcting a lot in the past. So that's why the P ratio is only 18 over here. And if you look at this, they're majorly into financial sector right now. And India and financial sector today is a good bet, mainly because they're not affected too much by the tariff war. Right. So India, it has financial technology, 13%, consumer, materials, energy, and this is how the entire split is. And if you look at the top holdings, it is HDFC, Bajaj Holdings, and then so on and so forth. So very interesting picks by these companies, right? Now again, why do we do this entire research? Why do we look at what mutual funds are buying? Because look, the market's falling down, and it is very important to look at who's buying what. I get a feeling. So I'll give you my summary or my take on all of these three funds, right? Let me just check this again. Yeah. So from what I can see, that Quant is playing a very good turnaround game. and they're taking some significant turnaround bets, but they're also taking very low PE turnaround bets, which is very interesting to see. For example, they've taken good amount of stake in NCC, Wellspun. They've taken Anand Rathi, slightly high PE, but Anand Rathi is giving good results for a long period of time. If you look at Motilal, they're still banking on their high PE companies. They're actually doubling down on them, increased allocation in Trent, took Hitachi now. So a different, completely different approach from what you usually see. And Parag Parikh is still playing the defensive game, and they have absolutely no problem at all right now, right? So this is what I can see right now. So if you ask me what sectors would I invest in, as I've said in the community post as well, I would look at India sectors, defensible sectors, because the market is going to be very choppy, very volatile. Trump is not going to let you sleep peacefully in the night, and he's like this attention seeking person who just wants all the attention of the world. So things are going to be very, very, very volatile. My portfolio is also volatile. It's a public portfolio, so all of you guys have seen it. It is also very volatile, but I think yesterday we had a good recovery. Slowly the recovery is coming, but I'm not too happy about everything because I really cannot predict what is going to happen right now, because it is supremely confusing at this point, right? But anyway, my job is to keep looking at things, keep analyzing things, understand where things are going. Like, I see some opportunities in these Excel sheets. I feel like I should take one or two positions in some of these companies for a long term period, mainly the low P companies, because my risk reward ratio becomes very good. So I think I'm going to look at some of those companies as well. Anyway, if you guys like this video, it takes a lot of effort to create this Excel sheet. I'm going to share it with the community members after this. And if you like this video, please click on that like button over there. And if you want to have more updates like this, which I do this every single month, please click on the subscribe button as well. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye bye.